Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. Before we get into the October tarot card readings, I wanted to make a super small announcement. I'm doing a test launch on a new little website that I'm putting together where there's only just going to be a couple of products on there for right now. Just a place for me to share some of my favorite things. So for right now, I'm introducing my ritual boxes, or as I'm calling them, my spell boxes. These are going to be dedicated to manifesting or healing love, like romantic love energy, or for attracting good fortune into your life. Each box is going to include a beautiful white marble smudge bowl with spell matches, a hand-mixed herbal smudge, sea salt and herbal bath, crystals, a candle, handcrafted anointing oil that I poured during the waxing moon, as well as a detailed instruction booklet, which I'm currently writing, which is why I'm not going to be shipping out until late next month. This will also come with a 3-card tarot reading that I'll be writing out and including in your box as well. These are available for pre-order only, and as this is just a soft launch, things won't be shipping out until the end of October, early November, and only within the United States until I figure out how shipping works, because I have no idea. So the link will be down in the description box down below, so you can go ahead and check it out. For now, let's move into the reading. Thank you. Hello, Aries. Welcome to your October 2019 tarot card reading. My name is Jane. Thank you guys so much for being here. So I'm going to start off with a court card. Pages, knights, queens, and kings, all included in this pile. Aries, this is going to represent you, okay? I really wanted to start off honing in on the energy that I'm reading for. So you guys, right? If you're dealing with an Aries, this is going to be the Aries that you're dealing with. Okay. Knight of Swords, which I often see as being very Aryan-like. It's real cardinal. I know this is technically like a card of Gemini, but I never see it Gemini. I always see it very Aries. It's direct, it's cardinal, it has a focus, it has goals, it has ambitions. It could be running towards something or running away, or both, right? It could be doing both at the same time. And it has purpose. And I think you are feeling pressure to get to point B, whatever that is. Like you're feeling a sense of urgency because, not because you just want to get there, but because you just like the thrill and you like the process of getting there, you know, like it's the passion for the process, the passion for the journey that I see with a Knight of Swords. You have to be careful with a Knight of Swords energy, though. You really do, because it can be haphazard and there can be unintended consequences, okay? So when you have your focus so honed in, there can also be blinders on, right? Like the horses in the races, right? There can be blinders on, and you might not necessarily see or understand the fallout of some of your decisions. So the more mindful you can be, it is Libra season after all. In the next couple of days, Mars is going to be entering into Libra. All right. We also have Pluto going direct. We have Mercury entering into Scorpio, preparing for its scorpionic retrograde. It's going to be such a thing. But it's all about like really truth. You know, Scorpio is all about truth. Mars in Libra is going to be all about establishing balance. So to be mindful is going to be really important. You can be truthful, you can be honest, you can be direct, but probably being insensitive is not the way to go, okay? So if you have a feeling about something, feel free to express it, but just be sure that you think about how someone is going to react, especially if you don't want to like make that person angry or anything like that, right? It's about mindfulness, right? That's one thing that Libras, you know, a lot of people talk about the indecisiveness of Libra season, or they talk about their, you know, inability to commit. But a lot of that is because they really don't want to hurt people, and they, you know, maybe a little bit overboard sometimes, but that's kind of the essence of Libra. It's like, let's make sure this is a win-win for everybody, and I'm not going to make a decision until I know for sure that it's going to be a win-win for everybody. So you can take on that, you know, energy a little bit with your ruling planet Mars in Libra the next couple months. A lot of relationship focus for you, a lot of growth in that area. And for those of you who are just coupling up, there's a lot of potential for development with that relationship. Okay, also business partnerships included as well. Now, with this pile, I pulled a major arcana card. Okay, so this is representing the environment in which you're operating at this time. So let's kind of go through some of the basics here with the Hierophant. First of all, there's an institutional nature. Okay, so yes, the institution of marriage included, the institution of relationships, also organizational relationships, companies, nonprofits, corporations, that kind of thing, all at play. So your relationship with a person, your relationship with an institution, okay, is all kind of coming into play. There's also an aspect of commitment, whether it's your commitment to yourself or your own goals, that kind of thing. There's a Taurus energy coming through, which is very opposite, I must say, from a Knight of Swords, which is interesting that the Knight of Swords is actually running away from the Hierophant. There's slow movement. So what I'm seeing is a mismatch. I'm seeing the mismatch of the energy trying to pace you versus you trying to pace the energy. You're trying to push and the energy is like, oh, I don't really want to budge right now. So if you come up against obstacles, you come up against major roadblocks, probably it's not a matter of you having to overcome the obstacles, but rather you just chilling out a little bit. I think you have to respect the Hierophant energy right now. You have to respect the pace. Also, if you are someone who is out there seeking advice, career advice, if you're in counseling, anything like that, it's going to be important for you to heed the advice of the practitioner, okay? If you're in spiritual, dealing with a guru, anything like that, like just do what they say because their advice, sorry, just heard a weird noise. Their advice is sound. Okay, and they're trying to get you to look within. One thing this energy does have a hard time with is really looking within because it just wants to get to where it wants to be. So don't forget to do your meditations, all the things that we always say every month. It's going to be important for you to always check in with yourself. And if you're going through something kind of deep, especially as we prepare for all the Scorpio stuff, if you're going through something deep, feel it. Like, don't be afraid to feel it. Don't be afraid to go through it. Don't distract yourself, but like really connect deeply with yourself. You're about to enter into 8th house territory, and if you don't want to look, the energy is going to force you to look, and it's better if you just like say, okay, I'll do it. Okay, I'll go within. I'll look. Okay, 10 of Wands. We know this is kind of a heavy energy. We know that this can be like you've got a lot going on, maybe there's a lot of obligations, a lot of things at work. You could feel the weight of things on your shoulders. We all know that in corporations, especially if you work at a large company, there's always the end of the year push. So some of you may be feeling that. If you guys close out taxes in October, maybe taxes are coming up, and there could be something like a lot of pressure from up the top down. Hopefully you're not pressuring yourself into doing things that you just really, really, really don't want to do. What I'm kind of feeling is like a last straw kind of energy. I was just talking to one of my Aries friends and she had something happen. I was like, oh my God, that was literally the last straw, because it was something so kind of seemingly small and insignificant on its own, but when it's piled up on top of all these other things, it like is really severe, right? So you may be kind of getting pushed to that last straw limit, which is telling me that you're going to need to reprioritize. It's not about running away. It's not about making rash decisions. It's just about restructuring what's important and what's not, and to be okay with dropping the things that really don't need your attention right now. You can pick them up later, but right now maybe just simply isn't the time. Simply just maybe not the time. Justice reversed, and we know this is a card of Libra. So as we make our way into Libra season, you could feel those scales really calibrating. Clearly there's something that's not fair. Clearly you are bearing a load that is too heavy for one person, and it is not fair. In a relationship context, you know, in terms of love, this could be someone who is like way over giving. Aries, are you giving too much of yourself? Are you trying too hard? Do you need to scale it back? Are you trying hard to be supportive of someone who isn't supporting you in return? I feel like there is a lack of reciprocity coming through. If you're working and there's, you know, someone who is taking credit for your stuff, that could become problematic this month as well. Although I do see strong manifestation powers with the Justice card, okay? And whenever the Justice card comes out reversed, what it tells me is that your signal that you've been sending out, whatever requests you've been making to the higher power, it's still in the process of getting out there, and the energy is still working itself out. Like it's getting rearranged. So it's important for you to have faith that your desires are in fact creating the change. You just can't see it yet. All right. It's important for you to like check in with yourself, right? Why do I say that? Because the Justice is the number 11 in this deck, and I often see it connected with the Magician. Okay, those two very connected, inextricably linked. The Justice is like the other half of the Magician in my intuitive world. In my little mind, they're connected. So Justice is ensuring that the energy is readjusting. So have faith. This I also see as being your inner guru, your inner Buddha, the part of you that has faith in the awareness and who acts as a witness at all times. So in spite of the workload and in spite of the tendency to get really engrossed in the things of the world, the Hierophant comes out and says, remember, Aries, you're just an awareness. You're just witnessing all of this, and it's really not so critical or so crucial. It's just something of the world, and it says nothing about you. You know, it just is. It's not happening to you. It's just happening. See, exactly, the Sun. There are so many blessings coming from this Justice reversed. So even if you have something, you know, disharmonious in your life, like a breakup or whatever, if you have something disharmonious in your life, the more quiet you are, the more meditative you are, the more solid you are, in spite of the tendency to like freak out a little bit, you are going to start seeing the blessings from the hardship come through real quick. I think this has a lot to do with as Jupiter moves into Capricorn in like the next couple of months. You know, Jupiter moves into Capricorn and we're building up to the Saturn-Pluto and eclipse thing in January. So you're going to start feeling that movement quite rapidly, all right? And there's going to be a lot of changes and shifts in, you know, how you are in the world. And I think there's a lot of joy that comes from that too, and fulfillment. Some of you, I think, are going to be truly aligning with something, whether it is a career path or something else. You're going to really be aligning with something that is a consolidation of all these past experiences of like the last like 12 years, right? All the last 12 years, it all gave you a little bit of stuff, and now this is going to be a year where you get to consolidate all of it and use all of it to your benefit, and thereby, you know, enhancing your place and your standing in the world. And I think you have an opportunity here to feel really, really good about what you're doing with your life. In the next 2 to 3 years, you're going to see a lot of enhancements. A lot of career changes for you, a lot of friend group changes for you. The Sun is just like a brilliance that oh my gosh, you guys, so many major arcana, divinity, alignment, all these things. You could be dealing with either a Libra, a Leo, Taurus, or a Cancer. Let's put all the zodiac signs out there. But yeah, like this is your Chariot, this is your vehicle. The Chariot has officially pulled up on your front door. Now the question is are you going to get in or not? I think there are going to be some Aries that don't get in, especially if there are people who are running away from responsibility. If you know an Aries who's running away from the load, they are denying themselves this. The 10 of Wands and the Chariot, are also inextricably linked here in this particular reading because they're on top of one another. It's because of the Ten of Wands that this Chariot has space to come in. This is what you see on the surface, right? This is all the surface level, like worldly little things, and this is the deep spiritual root. Like the Chariot is here, and these are kind of the little branches that are kind of manifesting out in the real world, but it's carrying you somewhere really profound. And I'm going to use the word profound, and I know that, you know, sometimes readings can be really big and heavy, and sometimes they can just be a little bit lighter. But I think what you're dealing with are a lot of little light things and seemingly insignificant things, but it's all rooted in one big major shift, like a tectonic plate shifting, creating major, major ripples, eventually creating like earthquakes and hurricanes in your life. You know what I mean? And it's very cleansing, but it can also be very unnerving as well. You're going to have to pay attention to the people that come into your life. You're going to have to pay attention to what people say. I think there's a lot of BS floating around right now with Libra season. There's a lot of BS. There's a lot of empty promises. There's a lot of, you know, ego at play as well. I honestly don't see Aries really listening. This is like Aries stepping up and saying, look, if you want to tell me something, you better put your money where your mouth is, right? Tell me with actions, not with words. I don't see you getting all sweet and everything with people like right now. Like honestly, you seem to be in a more receptive mode. You wanting to receive from other people, right? Because you have to, they kind of have to prove something to you because of whatever happened, maybe justice reversed, right? They're gonna kind of have to prove. Words are not enough. Promises are not enough, because maybe Aries has had a few too many empty promises in their life to just blindly and naively believe something someone says. Although with the Hierophant, I do think that there are going to be certain things in your life where people really prove to you, like, yes, Aries, I'm in this boat with you. I want this relationship. I want to hire you. I want this. I want this. And they're going to put the money on the table, and you're going to have an opportunity to take it and move forward, right? So make people show you with their actions, not their words. What did I say, right? The tectonic shifts. There's a little bit of uprooting. You know, you might be in a place where things are a little unknown. You might not feel as solid as you have in the past, but this is temporary. This Four of Wands reverse, absolutely temporary, because next year, what's happening, right? We're moving into a world year number 4. So kind of, you know, 2022 plus 2 equals 4. So the 4 nature of the collective consciousness is laying a new foundation. And right now we kind of had to tear up the old foundation in order to make the space. So you get to remake this vision of how you want your life. You get to remake it. You get to re-envision it. You get a do-over. Look at what you're building. Also foundational to the Ten of Wands. It feels like drudgery right now, but it's the source of gold. A lot of gold coming through for me with the Sun and the Chariot card, and then this card as well. And I say gold because that's the wealth, right? Actual money. Okay, some of you are taking on new endeavors or are going to be taking some risks, and it will create income. It will create money for you. Some of you are just maybe looking more for relationships, and yes, that there's a wealth of good things coming from relationships as well. When we're talking about Capricorn and Aquarius and Pisces season, especially Capricorn and Aquarius season of next year, these are like 10th and 11th house placements for you. So it is very much about your place in the world and who you're associated with and all of that. So I think more and more focus, more and more emphasis on that area of your life as Jupiter transits through Capricorn and Aquarius over the next 2 years, you'll start feeling like something is working. Hopefully you start feeling like something's working. And because of those relationships, because of your networks, both personal and professional, you'll start creating, a legacy. Big stuff for Aries right now. But this is all like the effects of after, when Chiron comes through your sign and you begin healing, it exposes wounds and it sews them back up, and you have this wonderful opportunity to really heal. And when anybody starts to really heal, they start feeling more whole, and then they start, really having a contribution. And I see Aries tapping into what are they meant to contribute? What are they meant to contribute? It's not going to be a time where it's possible to keep things in and repress. Mercury retrograde in Scorpio, please. We're going to have a lot of foreshadowing over the course of the next few weeks. The Mercury retrograde begins on October 31st. So the next few weeks, as we make our way through the rest of Libra season, we are going to be feeling things stirring, emotions kind of surfacing, and things we want to say and all of that. And then there's going to be an opportunity for us to really say it and to rectify the justice reverse, because there has to be rectification. They have to even out. That's what the scales, it's like cosmic calibration is what I'm calling it. And that's, it's going to be time for that. So it's not recommended to keep things in. But again, like I said, it is recommended to be mindful. You can be truthful and not necessarily reckless too, Don't run away from your destiny, guys. There are going to be so many Aries and so many people cross-watching for Aries. You have this amazing, positive, incredible reading, and you're like, yeah, but my Aries is just being such a jerk. And yeah, because they're running away from potential. And that, that's every sign, every archetype. There's always fear, and some people can take that fear and use it and be courageous, and then other people take the fear and become debilitated by it. So don't expect anything of your Aries either, just like Aries can't expect anything of other people. Make your Aries put the money on the table, and if they don't, it means they don't want to, So that Knight of Swords running away from something. Okay, and we have the Empress reversed, which is telling me that you, Aries, and maybe you and someone else are sitting in a hotbed of creativity and fertility and, being able to generate things and to develop new things. We love an Empress for her beauty, but also her very relaxed nature as well. It's a card of Libra. And I don't necessarily see this as a person, although it could be. You could be dealing with a Empress who's upside down a little bit. Maybe you're dealing with someone who has the reservations, again, maybe a little bit cold or slow moving, who's probably not operating on the same pace as you. That's fine. Don't push, don't pressure. More though, I'm seeing this actually as an energy of just kind of you with someone else. It's untapped potential of absolute, this is like the 10 of coins, right? She's the kind of the gatekeeper of the 10 of coins. You have to recognize what you have. You have to recognize the potential before you can tap into the potential, right? So I see this as being the process of opening your eyes and saying, oh wow, there really is wealth here. There really is fulfillment here. There really is joy here. And to see your other person for what they bring to the table. It's not just you, Aries can kind of have that being the first sign of the zodiac, number one. It can be a lot about the one, like yours truly, like my one. And so to open it up to my one plus your one, it can be a process sometimes for Aries, but that's what's so beautiful when Mars comes through Libra, because you have that opportunity to really do that in a fruitful way that will beget some form of results. We'll look deeper into this card in the comprehensive. So let's go ahead and put the camera down. Let's take a deeper look at these cards. Thanks. Okay, Aries. So here you can kind of see how the cards are laid out. You can see the Knight of Swords, like I said, running away from everything. And then you can see the Page of Cups directly in the center of the reading. So we'll pull out all the cards that we'll talk about in the comprehensive. But first, let's start with an oracle or a couple oracle cards just to kind of see a different kind of message for the Knight of Swords, Aries, and any additional messages for you specifically to pay attention to as you navigate through the energy of this month. Okay. Ooh, the wildling. Yeah, are you going a little bit rogue? Is that what this is? Aries going rogue, kind of tapping into that untamed soul, wild heart kind of thing. That's kind of what I'm seeing with the Knight of Swords. But you guys, as much as that tendency is to just kind of, like I say, go rogue, the tendency will be there. The tendency will be there to carve your own path, but it's Libra season. You really, really, really do need to pay attention to you plus, again, whether it's your company or your significant other, your best friend, your business partner, whatever it is, it has to be you plus them. If you're going to go rogue together. All right? If you're going to go rogue, grab them by the hand and say, come on, let's go. Don't leave anyone behind. Sometimes I say, like, yeah, do it for you. It's you. It's an independent, whatever. Justice reverse, it's not a good idea. It's not a good idea. I see you fulfilling obligations, okay? I see you doing what you said you're going to do, Hierophant, upholding your promises, upholding your covenants that you've made, and it paying off. If you're dealing with an Aries who's run away, that karma is going to come back and take care of it, so you don't need to worry about it, all right? An animal card. Ooh, hyena, fear. Why, you guys, why fear? What to be afraid of? Sometimes with these comprehensive readings, you guys, the story takes a total like 90-degree turn and heads us in a different direction. With these two oracle cards, I'm like, yeah, maybe this story is going to pan out a little different than these original 9 intended, right? So we'll see what the new cards are, but what are you afraid of, you guys? I'll have to clarify this one. Are you afraid of the time frame, how much time it's going to take? Are you afraid of locking yourself in? Are you afraid of the battle? Like, what is it? Are you afraid of something moving too fast? Is someone expecting too much of you so quickly? And here I am looking at the 10 of Wands, and here we have the Moon and the Emperor card coming out. So that 10 of Wands is a big deal, right? 2 majors. Let's pull a couple more for the 10 of Wands. Let's see. That's you, though, right? Emperor. That's you in your Hierophant form. It's kind of like the combination of the Hierophant and the Knight of Swords, right? The warrior with the guru. Boom, together, Emperor. King of Coins. You may be dealing with the Taurus, right? Getting a Taurus, Libra energy here. Taurus here as well. One more. 2 of Cups. Okay. Excellent. Those are the agreements, the obligations. Justice reversed. Ooh, another Empress. 10 of Cups. You guys, I wouldn't change a thing. I would not change a thing. If you drop this, if you abandon this, whatever this is, you won't receive the reward. And you'll feel like you got cheated, maybe by life. You know, if you're like, oh, life sucks sometimes. You may feel like you got cheated. But I think in some ways that would just be you cheating yourself. Keep going with your agreements, okay? Please uphold them. It's going to be really important that you do. 7 of Cups. Wait, what was this one again? I forgot. The Sun. Okay. I think the Moon energy that we just pulled out is a little too thick. You can't see the Sun yet because it's too thick. The Moon is too thick. And because you can't see where it's all going, that's the problem. Aries cutting it short. And we know that that's kind of a tendency of Aries, you know, stereotypically speaking. The tendency is for Aries to just switch things so quickly. Boom, boom, next, next, next. And unless you have a lot of fixed energy in your chart. But if you start something new, then you're just going to be starting at the beginning, and you're going to have to like go through the whole process all over again. This is so much about agreements. So much about putting the money on the table, putting the contract on the table. What's the figure? What's the settlement? This is so much about that, you guys. What are you offering me? What am I offering you? Boom, Hierophant again. 10 of Coins. King of Wands. You guys, just so you know, for those of you who are new to my channel, we're going to talk about these in the comprehensive. The link will be down below in the description box. I just pull them out here so you can just kind of see what's going to be covered as we go in a little bit deeper into the story. Ooh, the World. A lot of repeated cards, a lot of repeated themes. I don't see movement for Aries. What's this Empress? Ooh, a whole bunch for the Empress, huh? Okay, what do we got here? King of Swords. Oh, another 10 of Wands again. For some reason, it's like the wealth of the garden. More so the garden is coming out for me in this card than like the actual woman. The garden is the 9 of Coins. It is the 10 of Coins. And for some reason there's this, I think, a little pessimism that the garden isn't growing. There's this pessimism that nothing is happening. And, you know, that's going to be so like the faith, right? The faith. If you don't have a spiritual leader or a guru or a coach or someone that you can go to for advice, I would reach out to someone now just to kind of help keep your eye on the prize. Yeah, see? Knight of Swords is like really running away. And here's the other part of the Justice card. Keep your eye on the prize, guys. Ooh, Wheel of Fortune. Let's look one. Okay. Yeah, see, this is where you're coming from. Let's look at the Fear card. I haven't actually been clarifying these, but this one I think needs clarification. Fear. One more for Fear. Okay, and the 7 of Wands. Let's go ahead and leave it at that. All right, you guys, so this is where we'll pick up. If you want to join me, link down below. If not, I hope you have an excellent Libra season, and I will see you in about a month. All right, take care. Bye-bye.